Ring live now.
Oh, cool.
Right, so hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing the Labour government trying to hide, or should I say, refusing to publish the report on trans child deaths, which further, incites transphobia.
Yeah, we don't want to. I don't even know what I was supposed to say there. What I was supposed to say there. It's just bullshit. That's what it is. We have this report, but we're not going to publish it because we're fucking idiots. Oh no, they're not idiots. They're spiteful. They're cowards. I've been on a fucking campaign against cowardice again.
Yeah. Them refusing to publish it just further confirms every other supposed report that's come out that has been debunked.
Yeah.
So, I'm just
we publish this thing that shows us what we're doing actually kills people, and specifically kills young people, children. We just want them to die in quiet. Children should be neither seen nor heard. What is that joke from fucking Arrested Development?
Yeah, it's like I'm just letting Nerdy know that we've gone live.
Yeah,
so,
she said she was going to be a few like an hour.
It's like this just plays in to we've had not only have we had the cash report, which has been massively debunked.
It's very podcast.
Prior to that, we had the Sullivan report, which like the cash report is massively filled with misinformation.
I didn't read that one because I didn't have I didn't have an online debate about it, so I refused to do any fucking research when I'm not going to not doing it. Call an idiot an idiot. That's the only time I do any research. Soundbite that, you fucking.
Yeah, and it's like and to put this out there, just in case people might not have heard this before, but neither Max and I'm gonna speak for Nerdy because she's not here, and Nerdy can correct me if I'm wrong. But I would assume that neither of us are political in any way. Right? The only reason we are speaking.
Well, depends on what you're meaning. I'm not party political, but I am political in the sense that I'm an anarchist. I am a but I'm not party politician.
Yeah. What I mean by that is that we are not purely outwardly political outright, because if none of this bullshit was going on, we wouldn't be talking about it, because we would be doing our normal episodes, and all of that, and we would be living our lives as normal, like we did prior to all of this bullshit kicking off, right? So
I would be jerking off so much more.
yeah, but because of so much is happening in this political environment, unfortunately, we have to talk about it. Trust me, we don't. I don't want to, but we have to, because if we don't,
No, I actively don't want to.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like you say, like I kind of like I do think it's important to not forget the fact that we're going on a fucking genocide right now.
yeah, and this whole maneuver by Labour not wanting to refusing to publish it because they know they know that they would receive so much backlash over this report because rightly so,
Because they're
because
killing people.
yeah, and it's like if you and there's always this through line with every time they make a public comment saying, "Oh, we have great concern for our children. We want to protect our children."
You can have great
Really?
concern for your children all you want, but like if you're not doing anything about it, your concern that means absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I'm,
It's like,
I mean,
really? Are you sure you care about protecting children? Because if you did, and you wanted to provide, excuse me, the best care for these children, you'd release the report on these children unfortunately losing their lives, right?
no, but
And
like
you'll
what they
do,
want to
and
do
you'll,
is just
yeah,
what they want to do is just scream like Helen Lovejoy. That's it. That's literally fucking it. They
oh
want to
yeah,
be a
yeah,
preached wife from The Simpsons. That's it. What does anyone think of the children? Do you know what the point of that joke was? That she doesn't actually care about children. That she cares about being like a reactionary. What's a bad thing about reacting
oh
to
yeah,
stuff? That's not
absolutely,
what a reactionary is, you fucking moron. A reactionary wants to stay in the old. They want to move backwards. Full throttle backwards.
yeah,
Back to the past.
yeah.
Sorry.
There's like,
I know there's always
like,
like one there's always one person who will be like, oh, but you're oh. I've seen so
yeah,
many people not understanding the concept of reactionary. Like I had this discussion with an adult once. I'm like, what's so bad about reacting to stuff? That's not what a reactionary is, you fucking idiot. It's a reaction to social change that makes you want to go backwards. It's like conservatism plus, you fucking idiot. How the fuck can you be a
yeah,
grown person and not like a grown politically interested person? Because that's what he was, like politically interested in the sense that Sagan of a card is politically interested. And I don't remember what his real name is. Carl something. Carl Fagemin. Carl Benjamin. Yeah, that's his name.
yeah.
I've had a week. I don't know if that's noticeable. I like a good week, but I've had a week. I've been to a wedding and a 50th birthday party.
Oh, that's nice.
It's same
Yeah,
day.
awesome. Yeah, I was out, enjoying myself. Going to functions, having a time
I was so fucking.
of my life.
I can say when we were about to leave the wedding to go to the birthday party, which was for one of my friends, who's wonderful by the way. But when we were leaving there, I was so fucking tired that I'm like, we cannot leave for like 45 minutes because I'm going to order fucking drugs here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order a car of drugs to come drop the drugs off at this wedding. And then I'm going to go into the fucking bathroom and I'm going to snort the drugs so that I don't fall the fuck asleep on our way to the fucking birthday party. And so I went and bought drugs. And
I think Max is glitching.
It's the cocaine. But like, so I went and bought drugs, and well, the drugs came to me or to the wedding, and then I still barely fucking managed to stay at the fucking birthday party until 12 o'clock. But then we just went home, me and boyfriend, and we just like read bullshit. I forced boyfriend to watch the full like me shouting at Paul thing. And I will say he did bring up one thing, and I'm sorry to interject. I remember I remember that I was going to like say this. I promised him to say this because he realized one thing. My boyfriend is a translator. Like, he works as a translator. That's why it's very cool that he will translate my book completely for free, which he will do. Which he will definitely do. I mean, he's kind of doing it right now. But because I wondered why fuckface thought I was Dutch. Like, I never understood.
Whoa.
Yeah, I never understood that. But boyfriend, fuck, I'm just going to call him Benjamin because that's his fucking name. Jesus fucking Christ, boyfriend. But Benjamin realized one thing, and that is because apparently there is like accent recognition software. Because he was so clear, like, where is Max based? That's what he asked. That's why I answered, I'm based in your mom's cunt, Paul. Which, by the way, childish as fuck, but that is genuinely one of my proudest moments. I'm very happy with that. That, and when I say, oh yeah, because trans men never have beards or voices, is very... But that's because the software is kind of iffy. And boyfriend knows this, Benjamin, knows this because he works with, like, they have this software where he works, and it's shit. So his thing, his ID is that he was pretty much just feeding my voice into that software to try to figure out where I was based, and then Holland was what popped up, and like that's why it was, because if you are what he actually asks is, where's Max based? Is it in Amsterdam, or is it in like Schweiz? I think is one of the Switzerland. I mean, fuck, Switzerland is one of the. I think it's like completely different countries that he guesses at. None of them Sweden. So like he heard that I had an accent. He put it into a software, and then he tried to fucking own me, and he just came across as the biggest failure of all.
Yeah.
That's
theory.
I
had a customer on the phone. I was like, "Oh, what part of South Africa are you from?" And he goes, "I'm not. I'm Portuguese." I was like, "Oh, the accent's very similar."
Oh yeah, that can be similar.
Yeah.
I mean, in
absolutely.
South Africa, it's not an accent. Oh well, it is an accent. That's in Sweden. We have two different words for accent and accents. Accents coming from another country. It's called breakings, whereas accents within a language is called accents. Not even joking about that one. That would be the literal term. It's a breaking. If you like, what I'm having is a breaking, for example, because you don't speak the language clearly. It's kind of fucked, actually.
Yeah. Well, you see, I, after Paul's terrible performance,
Mm.
I
What, you didn't think
respectfully
it did well?
reached out. Like, no, I respectfully reached out to his personal assistant, and I just respectfully laid out that Paul did terrible, right? And that was it. I was done after that. Because I thought, I'd be respectful, I'd point out where he went wrong and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And now it's turned into this email chain where Faith can't shut the fuck up, right? And regurgitating basically everything that Paul said. And it's like,
Please add me to this email
Okay.
chain.
I will. And I'm like,
Thank
hang on
you.
a minute. I respectfully reached out to you because I wanted to relay Paul's terrible performance in a respectful way. And now
Fuck's sake,
you've
Toren.
gone down a rabbit hole of regurgitating everything Paul said, and numerous times she's tried to gaslight it onto me. And it's like it's not working.
I
So,
don't
yeah,
believe this person
I'll,
exists. I think
include
it's
you-
Paul, by the way.
Well, what I'll do after this live is I will forward you her email address, and then you can do what you need.
Have you
to.
actually
But it's like, well, anyway,
have you actually
Yeah.
heard her voice? Because I'm absolutely certain this is Paul.
no, I haven't, and I don't really care. But anyway, yeah.
No,
So
but
yeah,
anyway, I
enough
was
of
just,
Paul.
I'm sorry, Toren, for fuck's sake, you can't give me that. You can't. I'm trying to be a good person. I'm sitting here thinking, no ableism on the podcast today. I'm going to have no ableism on the podcast today. I'm going to be so fucking good. I'm going to call no person a retard. Which I've actually only done once throughout the 2 years we've been doing this. Which is yeah, I know it should be possible for me to say it nuns. But then again, I am who I am, and I am
Did you
not
say
ashamed that
nonce
I'm
or
a man.
nonce?
I said nuns, as in
Yeah, sorry, it sounded like you said nuns.
the funnier way to say none. Oh yeah, I
It
had
sounded
nuns.
like nuns.
I did once get fucked in a habit, but that's another thing. I've also fucked people in habits. Habits as in the clothes that nuns wear, not that
Yeah.
they've had a drug habit. Though I have absolutely done that as well. But it's and you
So,
tell me
yeah,
his personal assistant is there, and I'm just sitting there don't make any jokes about this.
I'll carry on because
I said nuns because I said
for
once,
some
and it was
reason
funnier
the
than to
Wi-Fi
say
is
none.
playing up. I think it's due to the weather. So, but that's Paul and Faith. Regurgitating the same information, misinformation. But anyway, that's that. But anyway,
that
going back to
misinformation tends to at least be
Labour
coherent.
refusing to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Labour refusing to publish the report on trans child deaths is the topic of discussion. So obviously,
I just want to make just picture this, by the way, because we said just before you dropped on, Neddy, that we don't want to talk about this really, because it's it sucks to talk about, but we have to.
Yeah.
And I kind of just proved it by taking the first fucking chance I got to talk about something else. First chance I got to oh wait, I remember this that I can now talk about instead. Because it sucks. It sucks to talk about. It sucks to talk about the fact that people are dying and children are dying, and not only does the government not help, your government doesn't help.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know exactly what my government does. I don't consider them that much. Such is the life of an anarchist. But
I think
like,
what's-
well, I mean, when you
but like, not only do they
Yeah,
not
well.
help, but they actively hide information and make things worse.
I think what hasn't helped is that Labour have done a whole U-turn on everything regarding trans activism and everything. It's like, oh, we stand by our trans siblings, and then they've done a whole U-turn. And
Remember,
it's like,
the
what,
5th of November.
what I don't get is like the germs and turfs are so obsessed that children as young as 13 in the UK are having surgeries. It's like, no, they're not. You have to be over 18 to have those surgeries, or 16 with parental consent.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But
as you said, you know,
exactly.
Lina has so many pictures of like bare-chested people he considers women who are minors. Like, he has so many pictures of that. He has folders of women. Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say this, right? Because I don't want, because you know,
Burn Parliament to the
there are
ground.
haters who watch this, and I don't really give a fuck. But I'm just gonna say this, just in case, you know, some fucking smart ass troll wants to, you know, say, oh look, they're advocating for this. Are we saying? And I'm gonna be, and for anyone, and for those hate watchers out there, please listen very carefully. Are we saying that malpractice doesn't happen? No, we're not. Are there doctors out there who have different ulterior motives? Absolutely. Like if I
Should they be
any other
shot?
society. Yeah. So yeah, right. We're not saying that, but the vast, overwhelming majority of doctors, psychiatrists, actually go by the book. And they make sure that every child, regardless of the age, has the relevant information, and they know what they're getting in for. Right?
Yeah.
No, but you see, we need more. We need
So
more
again,
gatekeeping
you are
in the
taking one
community, because,
extreme.
like, we need more gatekeeping. We can't just have people
like
go through 7 years of change, fucking transition. Jesus Christ.
No.
I mean, with the report on trans, it's like, look at Brianna Gay. That's a perfect example of a trans child's death.
Yeah.
They put that down. Oh, it wasn't a hate crime. It's like, yes, it was, because the girl and this lad had planned it. I mean, I was watching
didn't they like shout fucking tranny or something like that?
Yeah, and this is it. It's like the girl that was planning it. Okay, she was still using the correct pronouns for Brianna, whereas the lad purposely misgendered her all the time in the messages. They had planned this, and then they were faking. We miss her, and it's like, but what?
I'm gonna interject here and say, you can keep talking about it. I'm going to have to take 5 minutes if we're going to keep talking about Brianna Gay and just not be one.
No, it was just my example of. For this,
I get that. I get that. It's just like you have me and Toren have gone through that. For some reason, I cannot talk about that case without dying inside. So that's if you had anything else to add, that's why I said it. Like, I would not have any problem with leaving for 5 minutes.
Well, if I can, Max, and I've
avoided learning details about the case.
Not touch it. If I can, I'll just say this, and then we'll. Because when you raise the point, because but
we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Toren, I heard not a single word of what you said.
No, same here.
You became a robot.
Yeah.
You were the fucking millennium man.
Yeah,
or the $2,000
Yeah,
man. What is it? The $1 million man, whatever.
Yeah,
We can rebuild him. We
yeah.
have the
It's
technology.
my Wi-Fi seems to be having a nightmare in a minute. Hopefully it will settle down. I want to touch base
He's having
with
a
this
stroke.
whole situation going on with Hendrix. I'm just going to say this, right? Because I've unfollowed them because
Same.
I can't be doing their bullshit.
I will
Like,
never
you've
do
gone
it.
on your little arc. Okay, I don't care. Whatever. Just like literally, just fuck off. I don't care. I don't care about your detransition. I don't because not to belittle their journey, but like no, you could have detransitioned and got on with your life, but no, of course you have to get mummy with J.K. Rowling. I'm sorry, but that no. So they can fuck off.
Did you see the
really.
latest tweet about a friend sent them saying about how much Hendrix has hurt them? Why put that on blast like that? That was a personal message from what I can gather was a very close friend that Hendrix hurt with everything that they're doing. Like you, Toren, I couldn't give a shit if they transition. I don't have an issue with transitioners as long as it's not a grift like Maya, Brianna Wu, and all that. If you're genuine in your detransition, you'll have my support. But when you're
Brianna Wu isn't the detransitioner, though, right?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Brianna Wu isn't a detransitioner, though, right?
Yes, but she's grifting with
She's
it. Same as
Oh,
Maya
I
the Poet.
thought she was just a cunt.
Well, yeah, she is.
She's one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever had a displeasure of having like any type of contact with. But I only see that person when she pops up like in. I did not know she was trans until like 6 months ago, so I just thought she was a fucking moron.
Well, look at Maya the Poet, moron. Brianna Wu, moron.
Yeah.
I've lost any respect for Hendrix that I had because of the whole.
Why does Maya spell her name like that?
I have no idea.
Let's spell it the least intuitive way we could spell a very easy to fucking spell name.
It's just like I think
yeah.
that Hendrix has gone.
Hendrix is the lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, pissed off lawyer.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm so bad at this.
They could have gone around it a whole different way. When Puck came out with the accusations of being a rape apologist, any mature adult will say, "Can we have a chat about this?" You don't go like a whole 180 and just lose your shit. Okay, it's not great to be accused of that, but then address the shit with Frankie.
Or if you did it, own up to it.
Exactly, own your shit.
Own your shit. That's like paramount. And that's funny because I've been ranting and raving against them. And aside from the Earthbound bullshit, I've never in any of my poetries, in any of my fucking responses to them, I've never made the point about anything that has to do with the transitioning, because that's not what it's about for me. It's about cowardice for me. It's about not standing up, and the whole fucking "I'm not a victim" bullshit. Being a victim is just a fact. It's just something you are because someone else victimized you. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It doesn't say anything about your weakness. It doesn't say anything about your bravery. But what it is, conflating victimhood with cowardice, with weakness, which is absolutely what the lawyer is doing there.
I don't agree with the doxing.
Pronouns right now because I've heard so many different things. But that is cowardice.
Absolutely.
That's trying to poison the well, and that's what fucking disgusts me about this.
But
And
yeah,
I've
the
noticed
dogs
that
thing I don't agree with. That is
Yeah.
kind of shitty. Because from what I can understand, Hendrix has
Yeah, of
been
course,
thrown
that's
off the
always
board that they were on. They've now dropped the T from their profile. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, and that was because of Hazel Appleyard or whatever the fuck her name is. She says, "Oh, put LGB, that will rile them
Who?
up." And Hendrix is like, "Oh yeah," it's like, you are so stupid that you
Who the
don't
fuck is-
realise they've got a hold over you.
You say these names as if they should mean something to me. Who the fuck is Hazel Appleyard?
She's a turf.
What's a profile picture? That's how I recognize them.
Ugh, let me have a look. Bear with me. I think
I
it's
never
like,
read their names because I'm basically just fucking screaming at them. There are many times where they have like, "Oh, it's you again," and I'm like, I have no clue who you are. For such a small account, I have very many. I have much notoriety for such a small account. I mean,
the profile pictures of some
have,
nerdy girl with wind
unfortunately-
blowing in her hair.
Oh wait. Wait. It's
I unfortunately
it's,
had I had the unfortunate pleasure of interacting with her once.
I think I did
and
too.
She's
Just
absolutely
recently.
stupid.
My issues turned out to be a fucking coward. There's my quote. I think she came crawling in the in my comments or mentions or whatever they call it on Twitter. Oh, there we have the cunt. Oh, I've interacted with her like recently. Jesus fucking Christ. This. This was the interaction because it wasn't the whole you're basically admitting to being a fucking coward whose backbone is too brittle to stand up, blah 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 blah. And she apparently responded, "She grew up and you didn't. Keep trying. You might get there soon too, little fella." And I answered, "If growing up means I turn out to be a fucking coward, and I'd better hope I won't, because I would have to blow my fucking brains out." And then someone responds with, "Please grow up." And I say, "First good joke I've heard from you fuckers all night." Because if that was a joke, that was a fucking brilliant joke, to be honest. I would have to blow my brains out if I grew up. Please grow up. Fucking wonderful. I doubt it was a joke, though, because it turned out to be fucking brain dead later. But yeah, so I have interacted with this person. Hazel Appleyard. She's a big turf account.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still follow the lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I like a good shit show. And I'm going to say, like, because I saw someone earlier today tweeting, I definitely don't want to, but like I saw someone earlier today tweeting like everyone should stop following them. And I'm like, no, I won't, because this is fascinating to me. It's annoying as fuck, but it is fascinating, and I'm still going to see them. Like, and like I get
listen,
why you would stop following them, but like.
Sorry, I was just reading that article. Sorry, just reading that article that Toren sent me about Jason Pullman.
Only because the only reason
we're doing Ace tonight. What did you say, Ned? And what did you think? What did I? Someone speak.
What did you say, Ned?
I was just saying about how I was reading the article that Toren had sent about Jason Pullman.
I don't think that Toren is freezing right now. I just think he's shocked to, for the first time, actually have a co-host who reads the articles. For 2 years, I've just never, like, I don't know if I've ever clicked on a fucking link or something. It's extreme. But I was very clear on that when we came on. Though I do have some changes that I'm going to implement, and I'm going to tell you about them later.
Okay, cool. I look forward to it.
Toren, are you shocked? Are you having a stroke or are you glitching?
I think he's glitched. He looks so angry there right now.
Yeah. Finally getting tired of my fucking bullshit. But I just...
Right,
Oh, there's some movement from him.
Oh, you've demummified.
Now he looks like he has no mouth.
But does he need to scream?
He reminds me of that episode. Have you ever watched Doctor Who, the more recent ones?
Yeah, up to Jodie.
So,
Like I watched half a season with her, and then I wanted to kill myself. So I decided to not.
So
Because
the
that was
Christopher
shite.
Eccleston one, I think it was season 1 where they went to the World War II shelters, and it's the "Are You My Mummy" episode.
Are you my mummy?
Yeah,
Are you my
Toren
mummy?
literally reminded me of that when his mouth was just so covered. It looked like he was having a gas mask coming out then.
If he doesn't come back with a gas mask on, I'm ending this fucking show.
Oh, okay. He's just messaged me saying there was an issue with his laptop. He says there was an issue. Let me put my teeth back in. Let me read the message again. He's saying there was an issue and his laptop restarted. He'll be back as soon as possible.
Cool. Then what am I going to do this time? Oh, by the way, I'm making my book into a comic book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's grueling fucking work. I haven't started drawing yet, but I'm doing the layout and stuff.
Nice.
So now we're going to watch that.
Nice. I look forward to seeing the what's the word? The draft of it. If that's the word.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to wait. Quickly before Toren gets back and has important shit to talk about, so I can just do whatever the fuck I want. Not that he doesn't let me. He lets me far too much. That's just me. Thinking.
Talk of the devil, and he appeared. Oh no! Oh.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Right,
went
yes,
into an issue, and so I have to restart my laptop.
Your laptop is quicker than mine. But
So, yeah, I'm back.
what was I thinking? I had something to say. That's what about. Oh, by the way, by the way, Jodie Whittaker wasn't bad because it was a woman. She was great. It was the writers who had a fucking stroke and forgot who the doctor was.
They did the same with Capaldi as well, though.
I think Capaldi still kept it. Moffat sucks. But at least Moffat knew how to write some fucking stakes that felt real. They never were. It was Moffat should never write 2 episodes in a row, ever. Yeah. He should never be in control of that. He should keep writing one-offs. But but Capaldi was so fucking I don't know if it was that maybe it's just that I'm a very huge fan of Capaldi, but I think his own fandom of the Doctor, because he wrote a letter when he was 6 and I want to play the Doctor and shit like that. That's his life dream, and then he's only known for the thick of it. It's very funny because I only knew him from what is it, Thick of It and In the Loop, the film version of it, and that's where I knew him from. And I'm like, this is going to be an interesting Doctor.
I remember seeing him in Skins as well.
Oh yeah, he's in Skins, right? And also kind of in love with Capaldi. I think.
What's his name?
He seems to be a very warm person, but what I think Capaldi did his to rectify the bad writing, and not that Jodie Whittaker is a good actress; she's a great fucking actress. But I think that she had worse material to work with. Genuinely, I do. I think the character work in Capaldi seasons is very good, I think the actual stories are like getting fucked with barbed wire, except for one, and that's Heaven Sent, the one where he's alone in a castle and trying to figure the fuck out what's going on, and after Lara has died. Brilliant fucking episode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I've seen some seasons now as well, like with like where they are now, because like
Oh,
my
with Shitty
boyfriend's
Gatler.
child is. Yeah. Who's great, by the way. Like I love.
Oh,
but
I love
Jesus
him as
fucking
the
Christ, they
Doctor.
don't. Yeah, but I hate the stories. Like genuinely, nothing feels like anything. They had one of the greatest fucking villains I've ever seen in an episode, and the episode was fucking hot garbage. How do you manage that? Like the Maestro thing, the Maestro, the music.
Oh my god, with Jinx Monsoon.
It took me 5 minutes, and I turned to like the child and like, it's going to be a hard day's night. No, it's going to be the note from a hard day's night that fixes this. Which she was very, very confused by how I knew, and it's like that's the only thing that it could have been. Like it's like it's not a fucking story anymore. I don't know what's happened. It's broken at its core.
See,
and then I watched that one where the doctor gets a boyfriend, and then the boyfriend dies 5 seconds later.
Oh, that was Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, which is like they had great chemistry. I felt nothing when that guy died, and I don't know why. And I cried for fucking hours for Rose, like, and I didn't even like Rose.
See, I love Donna.
But the way they
She's
did it,
brilliant.
Donna's perfect.
Yeah, because there wasn't
But
this
like
whole crush on the Doctor thing. I hate that chemistry.
Yeah, me too. But I think it works because like the Doctor actually became kind of infatuated with Rose as well, and then they had the old Rose tied her eye and then cut off, and that fucking breaks my heart. Like that's good storytelling. Then it's bad storytelling because she comes back and like they kind of give her a human doctor, and because he doesn't want to go. Jesus fucking Christ, David Tennant is my doctor, will forever be, but holy shit.
They did him dirty on that.
Here are some fucking wacky stories. Sorry, Toren, that you came back to me just forcing this to be the podcast.
It was my fault, Toren, because when you froze, you look like Christopher Eccleston's.
Are you my mummy?
Are you my mummy episode? Because your mouth was just black and we were expecting a gas mask to come out your mouth.
Christopher Eccleston, by the way, brilliant doctor.
Yeah.
Very underrated. Not as dark as people remember him. Yeah, but he would have genuinely started murdering people, I think.
Yeah.
I love Christopher Eccleston, by the way. He's one of the funniest people. Like his fucking like railing against the crowd also is fucking brilliant. If you've never seen Christopher Eccleston on social media, do yourself a favor and do it. It's like, the parasite in charge. But he's gonna get it. Toren absolutely hates Doctor Who, it seems.
My least favorite Doctor, and I might get hate for this if anyone from the Who universe.
Matt Smith, please say Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just talking about the new ones, like if we're talking about all of them, well, Peter Cushing did play the Doctors in those fucking films.
I haven't seen the films.
Doctor Who and the Daleks, in which the Doctor's name is Doctor Who. And he's just a human, like goes. What are you gonna do for that? I liked Baker, like the fourth Doctor. That's who I grew up with, I think.
See, I didn't start watching it until.
I like Matt Smith as well, by the way. I do like Matt Smith.
See, I am going through a bit of a rewatch at the moment, so I might change my mind if I rewatch his seasons again.
But it's the thing. The thing is, again, Moffat is a fucking moron. Like, and that's the whole like big structures. We're going to show how dark the Doctor really is, which is like never had been his fucking point. The point is that he's choosing the light always. Like that's. It's and like the silence will fall and stuff like that. Like it's nothing. It never becomes anything, and it's like bullshit. Everything is bullshit. But Matt Smith is like a good actor. He just looks like he's swarmed through radiation. Like, not that I think he's ugly, it's just that his head looks like 3 sizes too big for his body.
Yeah.
He looks like a little boy who's growing into his head.
He looks like those bodybuilders.
And him playing Patrick Bateman is fucking unimaginable to me. Sorry?
He looks like one of those that's got the, you know, those bodybuilders where you see they've got the tiny heads and the really big shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a really flat face. I don't know what it is. He just looks off to me. But like, he can't help that. And I wouldn't want him to anyway. But I can't picture him playing Patrick Bateman. Which he did in the musical.
It reminds me of the cowboy in the Dandy comic.
Yes.
With big big upper body and tiny little legs. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Max, what the fuck is the Dandy comic?
Yeah.
It was a comic when we were younger. So you had the Dandy comic and then you had the Beano. The Beano had Dennis the Menace in. And the Dandy had Desperate Dan, who would eat cow pies, and you'd have the horns coming out the pies. That was Dandy. Yeah, that was Dandy. And then, what was... shit.
Yeah.
What was Dennis the Menace's twatty little neighbour called? The one with the glasses?
Which Dennis the Menace are we talking about here? Because there were 2 Dennis the Menaces.
So not the American Dennis the Menace, not the blonde one.
Okay, that was because like that's the one that is known here at all. Because like we get the good parts of British culture. I'm not saying that Dennis the Menace is the masterpiece. If any British people out there decides to feel a bit of patriotism and decides to prove to me that Britain is a great place to live, sucks to suck, I guess.
Listen, the UK is fucking shit right now.
Yeah. My best UK cultural export is Bottom.
Love Bottom. Oh, Rick Mayo.
I love the first time I saw Bottom, I think it was shown on like at 3 o'clock in the morning on like some fucking backwaters channel here in Sweden. And it's like I was just like coming down from one of my worst binges of amphetamines ever. Like I was like sweating profusely and like just shaking, like I don't understand what the fuck is happening in life. I need to just watch something that will calm me down. I'll watch a sitcom. There's a British sitcom here. They're sophisticated. And then I saw fucking Bottom. Which like I love it, and Rick Mail is brilliant. And I also love the young ones. Like I have a friend, and like whenever I go there, we just smoke pot and watch like the young ones at Bottom.
Yeah.
I once fed him so many edibles he was high for a week.
Yeah. Let me. Oh gosh sake!
Like in my defense about that one, by the way, I did say how much THC they was in them. He just thought I meant in the entire pack, and not in one candy. Which genuinely, I don't think that's my fault. I love this. This is
the freezing.
We once had an episode where we like the first 10 or 15 minutes like complete silence, but I think this is the most technical issues we've ever had. Fun fact is, what?
I'm just having a quick read of these articles again, just to like refresh my memory, and it's just like, oh, so heartbreaking.
Okay, I'm going to explain my ID that I'm going to do for the episodes in the future. See, so I've been thinking maybe I should actually put some effort into the things that I do. Why the heck not? See what happens. So I've decided that I'm not going to show. I've decided that for I'm going to try. I'm probably not going to work, but I'm going to have a talk ready for the episodes, like just a pre-written me bullshitting about what's not been on my mind. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad that I've already like called something Max's anathema because this is what should be called. Because
Toren
this is what it'll
just
be. It'll be an
messaged
anathema.
He's going to restart his laptop again.
It feels great to live in the only country with functional Wi-Fi.
Mine isn't too bad.
Ow!
So how is the life of not teaching now?
What?
How is the life of not teaching?
Sorry, that was a joke, by the way. I had to punctuate it with something.
I see they've been finding your cards that you've been hiding.
Oh yeah, they have been finding the cards. Like they send me like we've found this many now. It's like, how many did you actually hit? And I'm like, are you dumb? How many do you think I hit?
Yeah.
And I realized it wasn't actually 52, it was 53 because I hid the other Joker as well.
Maybe that will be the last one they find.
I think the last one they find is the one that he literally had to ask the vice principal.
The one that you hid in his
give
pocket.
me the card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he promised me to not. Did you actually read all that bullshit?
I did, yeah.
Thank you. I was like halfway through that. I was just like, I have no idea where this is going. So I'm very thankful for that. But no, it's and like he will definitely like take it to the grave if he must. Because it was like not until they ask for it, but when they ask for it.
Yeah.
So it's not. He can't be hinted at. I think someone might have seen me when I handed him the card, though, so that might be their like saving grace. But other than that, there are like cards that I think might actually be like physically fucking impossible to find. There was one like one is literally hidden behind like a screwed-on mirror. Like I just slid it behind it. Like I don't know if that's like if that will ever come out.
Unless they change the mirror.
Fun. Yeah, unless they change the mirror, that's true.
Are you all sorted now, Toren?
We'll see. Promise me you won't do it again.
Hopefully, yeah. My Wi-Fi has been great. My Wi-Fi connections have been great all day. Not
such a daft fucking cunt that I thought for a second you were going to say my wife and was very shocked.
No. I am 100% single.
Yeah. I mean, not that we talk very much outside of this, but like I think it might have come up. Like if you're getting married, and like a few weeks ago you mentioned you were single, so it would have been like very very quick notice.
Green card marriage, visa marriage.
Yeah, I'm a romantic, so I forget people do that. Like I get that some people need to do that, but like I could never marry for any other reason than love, and I don't really know if I'm ever going to want to marry like legally binding. I will marry. Like my marriage, my purpose. my marriage will probably not be great, but my wedding will be fucking great. My marriage will be a result of the wedding, in which I will probably say no. So, it's a funny joke. It's like my boyfriend is the only person I've ever met who I can do that joke with.
Yeah, I don't see myself as the married type.
I do, and isn't that weird considering I fuck new people every week? But still, when I snuggle up to my hubby. No, I'm never going to say that again. What's the thing with the weird Swedish accent I've been doing lately? I don't fucking know. My name is Inga and I'm from Sweden. I don't know why. Where the fuck that's comes from. That's how a bad Swedish accent sounds like, by the way. Not like fucking German. Where did I hide my cigarettes? I had cigarettes here somewhere, but I don't fucking know where.
I'm just going to check something here.
I'm looking. Did I put them in? Did I? Oh, I already put them in. I'm so smart. I think Toren is dying again. This is the fucking most. Oh, Toren, by the way, while you were gone, I mentioned my ID. I have an ID that I'm going to be doing. This is kind of as a challenge for me, and kind of to actually prepare something at some point.
Yes.
So, for at least the upcoming episodes, I'm going to try to have a sort of talk written down as like a 5-minute mini essay about something that's been on my mind. That's to get myself to actually work on it. So, and you're never going to know. You're never going to be allowed to know what I'll be saying beforehand. Just either of you, so you know. And I'm choosing to tell you on air. Fucking hell, he hated that idea. I don't know why it doesn't stop being funny to do that joke whenever it pops off. But yeah, so because I've been I think I've been kind of low effort lately. And I don't like being low effort.
Ooh. So I was just Googling what the wait list is for gender affirming care in the UK.
Isn't it like 10 years or something?
And going back to what the TERFs think that, kids are mutilated. So the NHS...
it's like 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, but the NHS guidelines for age and consent considerations for surgery is NHS guidelines require individuals at least to be 18 years old for gender-affirming surgery. Private providers may offer top surgery, known as a mastectomy, to 16 to 17-year-olds with the appropriate medical assessment. Genital surgeries are typically only available to adults 18 and over. And then there's one thing about, can gender dysphoria be cured without transitioning? And this is an article from the Mayo Clinic. Gender dysphoria can often be eased by being in a supportive environment. Social support from family, friends, and other loved ones may help prevent depression, suicidal thoughts, suicide attempts, anxiety, or high-risk behaviors. But it's just like,
But that support means allowing the transition. Like, that's what support is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know that. But under the drop-down things, it's saying, can gender dysphoria be cured without transitioning? And it's just like, well, obviously, because I'm not trans, I can't comment on it.
Look, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I don't fucking know. For some, it probably can. For some, it probably can blow over. And, I'm going to open promise, by the way, there is a chance that in the future, there is a minor chance. It's very minor, but there is a minor chance that in the future I'm going to detransition or something like that.
Yeah.
That could happen. That could theoretically happen.
Mm.
I don't see how. I've known this since I was 3,
Yeah.
but like, it's my second memory
Yeah.
ever is being that. The first memory is me biting off the tip of my tongue.
Oof.
Yeah. I kind of like that. Like, that's my start. And it fits, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's you.
But like, so my first memory is drowning in blood. And my second memory is telling mom I'm a girl, and she says, no, you're not.
Okay.
And not because she's like, my mom is a fucking cunt in many ways. She's a vile person. But that's not like, she didn't have the vocabulary for it. She didn't understand what it was. This was like 19. When was I 3 years old? 1995. And like and she's fucking. What is she now? She's 39 years older than I am, so she must be like 73 this year, 72 this year. So she's fucking ancient, basically. The fact that she's like completely accepted her trans son, and the fact that like she doesn't know I'm trans yet, but like I don't boy mode, and like she met one boyfriend who is trans, by the way, has had no fucking issue during the pregnancy. Mom is very, very accepting in that sense. She's a great and empathetic person, as long as it doesn't have to deal with her kids.
Yeah.
Like, she's a wonderful fucking. She's a great teacher. The first time I saw her actually showing empathy was like to one of the students. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, you know how to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like she's been a fucking piece of shit, but like, but in that sense, she doesn't like. So when she said no, there it was just because like her 3-year-old came up and to her, he just said something wrong.
Yeah.
He was like, no, that's a factual error, and her like view of children is that they're dumb until they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have definitely had experiences with teachers who were not the best at being sympathetic or empathetic towards children. You know, I mean, I understand it's, you know, they're from a different era, and all of that. But yeah, I mean, me and Toren, I'm flipping naming myself here. Fuck's sake. Me and Max.
I love that.
Yeah. Welcome to my world. Me and Max have discussed a certain teacher who couldn't even understand how safeguarding works.
Ex-teacher, I think, right?
He's an ex-teacher now. Actually, funnily enough, there was him, and I think
Like,
two other teachers followed.
Was they the ones from Nottingham?
One of them was, yeah.
Yeah, there was actually 2 teachers in Nottingham, so I know there was one from a college.
Oh, okay.
He's currently going through that. And then there was a female teacher. She actually lost her tribunal.
Oh, awesome.
I read the article and I was like, yes, that's one for us, and fuck the TERFs.
Yeah, and it's like,
and fuck bad teachers.
I mean, you know, I mean,
You're there to teach, not to hold up a fucking political agenda, which is what they say. Well, you're not there to spread your political agenda. Oh, I teach Swedish. You teach what? Fucking misgendering people? Dumb cunt.
You know what, though? Talking to schools, I cannot
Sorry,
fault
Toren.
Phoenix's previous school, because they were only 10 when they came out to us. They're now 12. So they would have been year 4, which is what? 9, 10. And all they said to school was, oh, my pronouns are they, them. Even the deputy head helped Phoenix choose their new name. And they were nothing but supportive of Phoenix. And it was like there's an author, I think his child is gay or possibly trans. I always get the two confused, who did a range of books called My Shadow is Pink, My Shadow is Purple, etc., etc. So the school already had the book My Shadow is Pink, and then they bought the book My Shadow is Purple, which would explain to Phoenix's peers what it meant to be non-binary. We didn't ask school to do that. They went off their own backs to do that. And then you had local turfy twat start with their shitty petitions to get the books out of school. And then taking it further, the school, as far as I'm aware, the teachers absolutely can't stand her.
Yeah, it's like...
She was banned from the school premises because of the vitriol that she spouted. But the best thing is, if she ever sees me or Phoenix's dad, she'll never say anything to our faces. She'll spew crap to other people about it. She's harassed businesses in the area to the point that one place had to get the police involved and she's had to write an apology letter. Has she written that letter yet? No.
Of course she hasn't.
And
I'm sorry. Every time I stand up during one of these shows, I have to notice like I'm a fucking behemoth. I'm genuinely fucking tall. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going. I think this was. I think
this is a super low ceiling, by the way.
Yeah, 4, maybe 5, maybe verging on 6 years ago or something. But I remember watching the news. I don't do that anymore. But I was just watching, and there was a protest going on in Birmingham, where I'm originally from. And this parent, she looked Asian.
My condolences.
And she was crying that because this school wanted to include LGBT education.
Exclusion.
Inclusion.
Oh, inclusion.
This school wanted to include LGBT stuff in their curriculum.
Yeah.
And this Asian woman had a massive saying that this school is trying to indoctrinate our kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is how dense and stupid they are. Like the schools, like it's the same with Donald Trump saying, "Oh, kids are going to school as a girl and they're leaving school as a boy." And it's like, what are you talking like? What? And this is all these turfs look at.
Yeah.
And it's like, no wonder people leave you. No wonder you're ostracized from the very community that you belong to. It's like, aren't you getting it?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like with my kids, we always said if they're old enough to ask, they're old enough to know age-appropriate responses.
Yeah.
And I can remember once when the kids were little, especially the older two, there was a presenter on CBeebies who was born with just like the lower half of her arm missing. The amount of parents that kicked off about that, it's like, oh, I don't want to see that on my TV. No, you just don't want to explain to your child that people are different.
Yeah.
I couldn't care if you're trans, if you're detransitioning, if you're non-binary. Treat me with respect. I'll treat you with respect. Treat me like a cunt, you'll get it back.
Exactly.
Can I just interject here for one quick moment and just give a recommendation to everyone? If you ever think that you can jump up and headbutt a fucking ceiling, don't do it.
My oldest did that with a door frame. He had concussion.
Yeah, I think I might have this. I wanted to see if I could, and like, I just
yeah.
And then he popped
so that's why I fell
on.
off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then you popped back up with sunglasses on.
Yeah, I had to try. I forgot. Wait, no.
What?
Because this isn't. What's the thing we use otherwise? Zoom. This isn't Zoom.
No, StreamYard.
See, on Zoom, I was so fucking lucky with Zoom for a bit, because it meant that like when Toren or anyone else was speaking, I could basically do whatever the fuck I wanted, and nobody like there is so much shit that I'm doing in the background of those episodes, but now I'm always visible. So like now people are going to hear you talk about that, and I'm just going to and then watch me get ready to jump up and hit my fucking ceiling.
Yeah. I mean,
like the only reason that I'm not considered a fucking idiot by anyone who like watches this is because you don't see all the bullshit that I do in the background.
Yeah, but you're our idiot, though, Matt.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest smart person I've ever met.
Yeah,
that was someone said that to me once.
Like, but like, yeah, it's like going. It's like, yeah, education is like. I've said this from the start. It's like if you have religious beliefs, which I believe that one or two of the teachers had religious beliefs, and they ended up losing their job. If you have religious beliefs, that's absolutely fine. What you don't then do is be a dick.
Yeah.
Take those beliefs into a classroom where
you force it upon kids.
Yeah, where the vast majority of kids, sure, their parents may be religious, maybe not. You don't force that upon them, and then especially with that teacher who can't even understand the meaning behind safeguarding.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they could put these children's lives in danger.
Yeah, I mean, this child went up to this teacher on their own accord and said, you know, I would like you to use my preferred pronoun, and my new name. No other this child went up to every other teacher in their school. They had no issue. It's only this one.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because like the other teachers know what the fucking point is.
Yeah, it's like I don't get it. I get it. You're like mid-50s, like nearing retirement age. I get it. You probably thought to yourself, "Well, I've got no fucks left to give, so I'm just gonna say out loud what I think everybody thinks." Like, okay, if you want it down the hill, then you go through it. But
it's like, what if that child, like, because this is in relation to the article he sent me with Jason Pullman. Luckily, he had the support of his family. But what if that child that approached her didn't have that support? She could have put that child's life in danger.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
No, you don't.
And sometimes, that's the whole thing. Like with the parents have the right to know. No, they absolutely do not. Parents need to sit. Sorry. Memories. I once had a couple of parents who started questioning why a student was being passed when they knew that he didn't get it because they had been doing all his homework.
I mean, it's just like
he got a barely passing grade, by the way. How fucking dumb are you as a grown adult person if you can't fucking get like an A as a 7th grader? Fuck off.
I saw
you didn't even cheat properly for your son.
About this guy had responded to something and he goes, "Oh, gender isn't assigned at birth." It's like, but it is. You're born with a vagina, or you're born with a penis, or you might be intersex. If they can visibly see you've got a penis or a vagina, you're a girl, you're a boy. Gender's assigned at birth.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
At birth. Yeah.
But this is, I mean,
absolutely.
I can remember, you might do as well, Toren, because you're a similar age to me, but when we were back at school, kids, if they did anything different, it'd be, "Oh, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay." It's like, and looking back, were when we were
How-
kids.
how-
It's like, okay.
Yeah, same thing when I
And
was.
you learn from
By the
it.
way. Yeah, and like, why do you think that I
Or
speak the way that I do? It's like I never grew out of high school. Still calling everything faggot.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, it's like my kids, they'll joke by calling Thea a faggot, and it's like, Thea will say, can you stop it? And, you know, we have to say to them, you know, that is still, okay, yes, we've reclaimed the word queer, but faggot is still a derogatory term.
Yeah, and like,
and it's
I don't use it in a nice way.
Absolutely.
That was also funny with Paul, by the way, because at one point I say, Paul, you little faggot, I promise I won't swear. It's like, what the
I
fuck?
remember that.
Yeah.
That's not very
I don't
helpful.
understand.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
I don't understand why the government aren't publishing trans children's deaths. Is it because they know?
Because they wanted to die.
Because not just that, but are they realising now that they fucked up by stopping puberty blockers for under 18s? The amount of children, it's like with this Jason Pullman, this literally broke my heart. He was 15 and he was told he had to wait. Oh, let me find it. How long did he have to wait? They have to wait. Where was it? I saw how long he had to wait. Oh, that was it. They told him he'd have had to wait 26 months for his gender-affirming care appointments. His death is at least the third to occur among trans teens in the UK who were recently denied similar care. This is just going to rise and rise because they don't want people to be happy. I mean, in the article, luckily...
one is too many.
Yeah, it is. And it's just like, it shouldn't be... No parent should have to bury their child at all. And for the fact that he was... Because he'd given up. He'd given up on his family, himself. He started going down the route of drugs and alcohol. And his mum had said, you know, he struggled with his dysphoria as well as his relationships and friends. In his world, that was the answer. In his world, they didn't know whether that was the whole answer, but to him, that appointment was everything. For somebody to affirm to that child and say, yes, you're a trans male.
Yeah, it's like on the like within the email. I know it was like a long one where I included like everything. I included some links to websites. Like I'm currently on.
Hey, Toren, how does it feel to finally have a co-host who reads these sources?
Now, like, listen. The thing is, Max always like you always do a good job anyway, so you don't need to worry.
Yeah. I'm fucking brilliant, but like I am late as shit. That's why I kind of am going to start writing something for the episodes, preparing, because I want to like get away from being lazy and I don't want to read articles. So this is what I'm going to do, and I promise it won't be as long as the last time I wrote something for the podcast because that one went on for an hour.
Yeah,
I read something I had written by hand for an hour.
Yeah. This is on the Good Law Project. So in 2020, the High Court ruled in the Bell case that it was unlikely young people could give informed consent to puberty blockers, and the NHS immediately pulled down the shutters on healthcare for young trans people. But coincidentally, not for cis children. Okay. But when the Court of Appeal overturned
But don't you remember
decision,
that Mary told us that it was different?
Oh,
and
yeah,
then we
yeah.
checked
Oh, yeah, of course
and
we did. Yeah.
Do you remember when we checked that? When we actually Googled what the dangers of precocious puberty it was? And it was like, fucking no.
Yeah. Anyway.
Except for like the emotional trauma.
Yeah. A year later, on multiple grounds, the NHS left those shutters in place. The outcome was both predictable and predicted. A huge increase in deaths of young trans people. Two whistleblowers have told Good Law Project.
Okay.
Two whistleblowers have told Good Law Project that in the 7 years before the High Court decision, there was one death of a young person on the waiting list for gender identity development services. In the 3 years afterwards, there were 16. They explained how staff at the Tavistock Clinic raised concerns about this increased unplanned and open letter, but were threatened with disciplinary action, and they talked to us about deliberate attempts to suppress these figures. I wonder why.
Mm.
The minutes of the Tavistock board tell the same story. In the 3 years before December 2020, the minutes record 1 apparent suicide, in quotes, in Gids. The board notes in January 2021 the profound, again in quotes, effect the High Court decision will have on patients, and then the number of deaths start decline. There's one in the quarter that covers December 2020, another in the first quarter of 2021-2022, and 2 more in the second quarter. So basically, if you go down, the period up to 31st of March 2022, a data sweep discovers 22 additional deaths, with the minutes from April 2023 revealing there were 5 deaths in Gids between the 1st of April 2022 and the present. The Tavistock stopped saying whether these were likely suicides.
Yeah. I'll be back in just 1 minute.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can see that that's like, if we were to take that figure alone, that's a lot of deaths in a short period of time.
Yeah, and 1 is too many. Like that's
exactly 1 is too many.
Like even before they changed it, there were too many deaths because there were that 1, and like they should have tried to mitigate it in the other way instead. Like get it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like,
spiteful fucking
cunt. Yeah, and it's like, and these whistleblowers, like, they have done a good thing by coming out. I mean, they should have came out sooner, but they recently came out.
It does take a lot. Like it does take a lot to do that. I will say.
Yeah,
like you're winning a lot of head races, so it's like it would have been great if they had come out sooner. But I'm also like, I'm happy. And it's like they were opposites of cowards.
Yeah, and we obviously this was back in 2023. Well, 2022, 23. So this was like, obviously COVID happened 2021 time. So yeah, but anyway, so 22 additional deaths, and it's like, what's going to like? Yeah, preventable, and it's like, what's going to happen?
Previously prevented deaths, even.
Yeah, and it's like, if take trans out of it, right? Because apparently trans is just a big trigger word. If you replace trans with
honestly, I think cis is the trigger word for these fucking people.
Well, yeah, but if you insert cis kids and the cis and 22 and these cis children were dying at the rate trans children are,
that's weird, bro.
There'll be an uproar. They'll be like, we got to do better. We got to do better. But because it's trans children, it's like.
But that's because
yeah.
Toren, you're forgetting one very important detail, and that is that trans people don't have any soul, so that's why they.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah. You're all soul.
They are we shouldn't talk about them as a group. We should talk about them as a singular. The trans.
Oh yeah.
Like we do with other groups that we want to exterminate.
Oh yeah, because I keep forgetting.
Fun fact, by the way, in Sweden, we talk about Russians like that. We talk about the Russian.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Absurd.
Well, it's like reading Helen Webley's article. I absolutely adore that woman. She is amazing.
Yeah,
do you remember
I
when
do.
the cash review came out?
When the what came out, sorry?
The cash review.
The cash report.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she put, where is it in the article? Because obviously the UK government issued the ban under the pretense of safety for trans people. However, if Dr. Cass was so truly concerned about the safety of trans youth in the UK, why did her
Maybe she would have
report
offered them SSRI.
deliberately neglect to mention the so clearly lethal impact of limiting youth gender-affirming care?
Yeah.
Because
also,
yeah, go on.
There's a video clip of her saying that to deal with the depression of gender dysphoria, why don't we, for example, try using SSRI? Something that is proven to be dangerous for people.
Yeah.
So to the point that we don't give SSRI to minors, except for in extremely fucking rare cases where it's a matter of life and death.
But you see, it's like, you know, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm absolutely fucking mad, but there seems to be a through line, a link. You know, you've got Hilary Cass. She's a pediatrician. She's got no experience in this field. You've got Helen Joyce, the children porno comic woman, got no experience. Maya Forstater, no experience.
The
J.K. Rowling,
mathematician? What's that?
mathematician, yeah. Yeah, she's got a PhD in mathematics. Maya Forstater is just another clown. It's like all these people with no experience in this field
putting their 2 cents into it. It's like,
yeah.
I will say though, out of all of them, I would say that Cass is the one with the most reasonable experience, considering she at least worked in the field of medicine. Not being a doctor in maths would make you more qualified, I guess.
But it's like
though her report is absolutely shite.
Clearly these people are void of a brain. Clearly. Because they're not thinking, wait a minute, hang on a minute. So
void of a soul.
So we're taking advice from a professor in mathematics on gender identity. Really?
Speak for yourself, Toren. I don't.
I don't fucking know.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking with you.
Seriously, this world is going fucking mad.
Yeah.
But do you know what exists? Apparently, I've completely forgotten how I bought it. This is a spray that apparently takes away. It numbs your throat. Apparently.
Awesome.
Let's see. If it works. Is it awesome? That feels like it's not good.
You know, I feel whenever, I don't know how you two feel, but I feel like every time I hear or see something that's coming from TERFs, I feel as if I'm living in a deja vu world where I keep seeing a black cat and I keep seeing the same fucking one with the same spots, and it's like. When you've seen one, you've seen them all, kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, are you that stupid? They keep regurgitating basic biology.
This is it. I mean, it's like, as Helen posted in her article, she's put, just because the TERFs, transphobes and ignorant people are loud doesn't make them right. She said they shout loudly because there's uncertainty in the value of words they speak. A more respectful volume would invite a challenge. Loudly they shout because their numbers are small and no one hears them when they speak in a normal tone of voice. Loudly they shout because they are full of pomp and uncertainty. They need to add some weight. They shout even louder when they hear the voice of reason, spoken quietly but with clarity, and even louder when they know that it's a voice of reason. Loudly they shout because that's what bullies have to do. They have to give weight to their empty words. Loudly they shout because otherwise nobody would hear them above the calm and sensible voice of reason. They shout loudly.
Look. I agree with this to a point. But like, let's not completely disqualify shouting people. Because I mean, some could be geniuses just tired of bullshit.
Yeah.
Not saying that I'm a genius, but you know, you can say it.
That. I mean, it's like with the protests that we've had in the UK, it's like, you know, we'll do the chants, we'll do Trans Lives Matter and things like that. But it's like the last one I went
sounds like a fucking dance.
Was when fucking Ava Brown's fucking dead corpse was in Nottingham. In Nottingham, there's a statue that's known as Speaker's
That
Corner.
was a weird day, wasn't
it? So they just had a megaphone, and that was it. She literally had to shout, but she chose the worst place. She chose somewhere where roadworks were being done. She changed the location last minute because she knows that we outnumbered her lot. We had the police around us. She didn't. They weren't protected. It's like they go all about slagging the police off. Then why do you protest outside of a police station? Why report people for threats of violence, yet you hate the people, police? It's like scratch a turf, find a transphobe, find a racist, find a fucking Zionist. It's like they literally.
I will say though, I am definitely ACAB.
Sorry.
I will say though, I personally am definitely ACAB.
ACAB.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They never figured out who was the one who cluttered that all over school. Like we had so much ACAB like written on the walls in school. They never quite figured out who it was. Like it couldn't be a teacher or anything.
I wonder who that could have been, eh?
Yeah. If anyone at my old job hears this, that's a joke, by the way. I would never do it. It's not in my handwriting. Never check that.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like I'm on this website called it's called the Argus.co.uk, then ARGUS.co.uk. It's like this is on the 6th of June. A GP practice in Brighton. It has 3 surgeries in Brighton, including one in Western Road, offers a trans health hub, which aims to improve access to healthcare and support for trans, non-binary, intersex, and gender variant people aged 16 plus. Yesterday, June 5th, NHS Sussex announced that it has launched a rapid investigation with NHS England into the practice for prescribing or arranging the supply of medication for gender dysphoria for under 18s. A statement shared by NHS Sussex reads, following concerns raised about some prescribing for children and young people by Wellbeing in Brighton and Hove that may fall outside of national clinical policy and guidance. We are working with NHS England and have launched a rapid investigation into this activity to determine the most appropriate care and treatment for these patients. To help any young people and their families who are or may be affected by this investigation, we have established a dedicated helpline for young people under 18 and their families who are receiving gender care from Wellbeing. You do not need to be a resident of Sussex to use this helpline. And it's like, what investigation? Like, you say that this is apparently falling outside of national clinical policy. Like, what do you mean by that exactly? It just seems that the government is trying to utilize
the national
power.
clinical policy is that trans people should die.
Apparently, according to this article,
Yeah.
Like what you're trying to do is like
They're just too cowardly to say it.
it's like what you're trying to do. You're trying like, are you so scared? That's what all this is. Screams to me that they're scared. They're scared of trans children who, oh my God, they're like different. Like no, they're not. They're just children who are trapped in the wrong gender.
Yeah.
Like
This is
that's
why,
not,
by the
that's
way.
not
This
wrong.
is why. The whole like, there are people who will react to my whole crusade against cowardice because, like, what does it matter if someone's a coward? This is what it matters. Because being a coward means that you're not actually saying what you believe. You're saying the more palatable version of it, which means that people are trying to argue against the more palatable version of what you're actually believing. And that leaves you, Ground, to go fucking commit a genocide. Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about evil. Evil is open. Evil is honest. Cowardice is what allows evil to prevail. That's why I fucking hate it so much. It's the most disgusting fucking trait in humanity. I'm not saying that you're supposed to be brave. I don't care about bravery. I don't put those two together. What I'm saying is, don't be a fucking coward and say what you mean. Unlike these fucking cunts.
Yeah, it's like, you've got like, I seriously don't know how. Obviously I'm being a bit, obviously, of course I know why. I'm just like thinking out loud, but I don't know how Red Streeting can go about his business and be absolutely fine with, because obviously he's a gay person himself. I just don't know how he can, blindly go about his day, not
He's a
thinking
gay
that
person,
there's
but first
nothing
and foremost,
wrong.
he's a politician. And like, that's a personality disorder. Like, that is fucking sociopathy. I'm going to become a politician and like make important questions no longer matter because it's all going to be a fucking play for the polls.
Yeah, it's like I find it's like not that. I mean, this might be a bit of a it's like this might be a bit of a side tangent or a thing that makes me laugh
We would never
inside.
do that, would we?
No. Like I don't know the historical nature of this bridge or whatever the fuck they wanting to pay all this money for. I don't really care. But it's funny how they can find a measly 590 million pounds from nowhere, right? For some historical building or whatever the fuck it is. But they can't find money to pay the nurses, improve NHS, improve the waiting times, improve access to gender-affirming care a lot quicker. It's funny how they can find 590 million for some unknown fucking bridge.
Or when the whole King's coronation.
What do you call it? What do you call the math that you do when you're like trying to like fuck up with taxes? There's a word for it. I don't remember what it is. It's not creative math. It's a joke. It's a joke term, not investment. That's just what it is. But it's like creative math, but not that. It's better than that. There is no word for it. I'm certain. Maybe it only is that in Swedish though. I'll see if I can come up with it. But it's when an economist needs to like make 10 pounds become 20 pounds, like
money laundering. No.
But the legal way, like via capitalism. Like it's basically just creative numbers. Like you find where you should put things based on the priority of how much will I get back from this.
Yeah.
And like this, and because they don't care. Like that's how he can do it. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't care about gay people. He doesn't care about like, yeah, he's a gay man himself, but he cares about exactly one gay person in the entire fucking world, himself.
Yeah.
None other matters. And
I mean, it's like what surprises me is that Mermaids is the only charity in the UK for trans children.
Yeah, the only one.
Families. I mean, it's like, I'm just on their website now, and the services they provide, you know what? It's great because from what I can see, they have a support line, email, and web chat support. They don't record the calls.
Nope.
Good.
They have moderated online forums for parents and carers and for 3 different age ranges of children. So groups 12 to 15, 16 to 17, and 18 to 19 with an exit on their 20th birthday. They also have, residential weekends, family days and events for young people and their families. A network of local groups for families and young people. Again, online groups for families and young people, and also training available for individual professionals, public third sector, corporate organisations. And going to the whole puberty blocker thing, because they've got an FAQ thing on here. And, it says, what is the current situation regarding access? Oh, here it is. What is Mermaid's stance on puberty blockers? And they've put, while we don't advocate for any one particular pathway, we continue to campaign for access to timely, holistic and supportive healthcare for trans youth, including access to puberty blockers and hormones for those who feel that need them.
Good.
And it says here as well, what is their relationship with the NHS England's gender services? And it says here, as the largest UK charity supporting trans children and their families, many of the people that use our services are also within the NHS England's gender services, formerly GIDS, system, or are considering where to find medical support. They provide families and young people with the information about services offered by the NHS only, and have previously liaised with a GIDS service regarding service user feedback and experiences. And it's just like, why isn't there more charities like this?
Exactly.
By the way,
while you were reading that, I found the sorry, Max. I found the article, and a controversial Lower Thames crossing project awarded a huge 590 million by government. More than £500 million has been ring-fenced for the Lower Thames Crossing Road project to link Essex and Kent by the national government. Labour Chancellor Rachel Reeves pledged 590 million in her spending review last week to support the 14.5-mile infrastructure project aimed at relieving pressure on Dartford Crossing and linking ports in the southeast to those in the Midlands and the north. The ongoing project has cost around 9 billion so far. So you committed £500 million, more or less, to a motorway, and it's like, I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck about motorway.
Toren, look at it this way. We could have given those money to trans people, but trans people kills themselves. Motorways does. Would have been wasted money.
Yeah.
Was that the darkest joke I've done?
I don't think so, but it might be up there. Oh well. If they don't get, don't get our dark humor by now, then that's on them. That's how we deal.
Oh no, I'm just
with
trying to. At some point, I'm going to list my weirdest, and we're going to have the actually planned out bits, like when I had my makeup done, like I was crying when we watched the interview with Glenna. And he started talking about his dad dying, and I just came back into picture with black tears running down my eyes, fake crying, or the off the cuff bits of darkness. By the way, since we are talking about this, I will say one thing here, and that is that naturally I'm not condoning anyone would do anything illegal or something, but first and foremost, estrogen, not a narcotic substance, like testosterone is. I do not. That's outside my ballpark. I don't understand that. But anyone listening to this, and
just while Toren was reading that article, I was just scrolling through the Mermaid's website, and this actually made me fucking laugh. Is supplying a binder a criminal offence?
No.
So this is what Mermaids have put. Now, following recent misinterpretation of chest binding in the media, the Metropolitan Police has clarified their stance in an official press statement that the supply of a breast binder is not a criminal offence. The Met supports transgender and gender diverse individuals who freely wear a chest binder. It goes on to say, we would like to reassure individuals who choose to wear a binder that they are not committing a criminal offence. Where the fuck did that come from? Since it's like, what? Who thought
it's like that's lies. It's lies. It's lies spread by TERFs that like they try to make shit sound. So they have to answer them. Like that's you know the reason that it says warning, do not like for example, don't wear. Fuck, I don't remember. Like don't bathe with your toes and stuff like that. When it says those warnings, that's because they've had someone who have asked them like, can I do this? And they realize that that's a liability. So that's them just having to clarify just a misgiving. I know this because we have had so much of the bullshit you like think about in schools, like the rules and stuff, because people are fucking idiots. Like, can I do this? Like, no, you cannot. And now we need to criminalize that in this school. But I was just saying quickly, anyone out there who is affected by the DIY, and not by the puberty blockers stuff, or just doesn't want to go through, just doesn't want to go through the grueling experience of having to explain to someone what you know. Like, there's a reason that I am completely DIYing my transition, because having to sit, in Sweden, you have to live for a year as a woman. What does that mean? To get tied to the stove and beaten by my husband? Like, what exactly? How fucking stereotypical do they want me to live as a woman? Because, like,
and the thing is as well,
and also I have to like spend a year explaining why I'm trans to some fucking psychiatrist who doesn't know it. Like, my psychologist herself says, yes, you shouldn't go the medical way of transitioning. You should do exactly as you do. And if anyone needs help with DIY, send us an email, and Toren will make sure to send that to me, and I will tell you.
But it's as well, it's like, for those who don't choose to medically transition, they're still valid. In my eyes,
but like, you know,
nobody is forcing anybody to have these surgeries. That is a personal choice. It's like, there's a guy that I followed from my TikTok days years ago, Tristan Simmons. He transitioned from female to male, and his journey, watching him grow, has been amazing. And I find since he came out as trans, it's the same as Phoenix when they came out as non-binary, that confidence just grew. And I think it's because they weren't having to hide who they were. And Tristan just recently underwent top surgery earlier this year, and people are like, oh, it's mutilation, the doctor should be sacked. But that's his choice.
Yeah,
he
chose it.
If he just wants to have top surgery but doesn't go for bottom surgery, that's fine. He is still valid.
Oh yeah, like I've said, I've said this before. This, sure, no, definitely not. I've fucked circa 300 people in my life. That's like, my body count is up there with a small village being murdered. And like, I'm I've learned so well how to use the equipment that I have, and I don't have time to learn how to fuck in a new way. And like I have 2 holes anyway, so like use those by all means. But like I don't want to be the most well fucked virgin ever. But however, like I am still medically transitioning, because I am like going to. Like I have hormones somewhere around here. I technically happen to look. I still haven't found them, Toren. I have to buy new ones. And I will say that if anyone out there like doesn't want to go that route, that is completely understandable. You probably know yourself better than anyone else. And also, estrogen is like not the same. It's not the same class of a substance. It's not. It doesn't fuck up your kidneys, as testosterone actually can do if you do it in like bad forms. Still possible to DIY. Shouldn't do it unless you know what the fuck you're doing. Estrogen, you can buy it online. You just need Bitcoin. So if you need to get estrogen and you don't know how, either send this podcast an email or send me a direct message on Twitter. If you send this podcast an email, Toren I will make sure Toren, like I'm telling you now, if someone sends you an email about this, make sure to forward it to me, okay? And I will give you like exactly how you'll get hormones, okay? And I'll also give you the safeguarding, like think about this, like go test your blood, and like. Because
absolutely. It's like
you don't have to go through a system that fucking hates you. You can DIY this, and I can help you. I actually can do that because that's how I get my hormones. My hormones that I've fucking lost in this fucking guest house. I genuinely don't know where they are, and it pisses me off so fucking much.
Yeah, it's like when I did that interview with Helen Reveley, who I just want to put this out there, just, because people seem to want to know, like, because I've had quite a few people say to me, like, how on earth have you been able to get the likes of Helen Reveley and...
Yeah, me. I've been saying that to you.
Listen, if Helen Webley was here, I'd be fangirling. I'd be like, oh my God, I just love her work. I love the fact that...
She was on an episode.
Sorry?
She was on an episode. He got there.
And it's like
I had to not be on that episode, unfortunately, because like I had a week where I can't talk about how shit everything is for trans people this week.
Yeah,
but like
in the medical profession, who is fighting for trans kids? How many other doctors are there that would openly come out about it and say, "Hey, I'm fighting for trans kids"? As far as I'm aware, she's the only one.
Yeah, it's like that's like when I had her on. I mean, you've got better things to do, but if you were to take a look at the comments on that video, my God,
that's where we found Paul.
Yeah, my God, are these trans so flipping dense? Because one of them, was like, oh, she should be in jail, and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't know.
But it's like, it gives people autonomy. Like these people are so fucking afraid of autonomy.
Yeah, it's like if you want to know how I'm able to be fortunate enough to have some of these people on, it's not because
so many good guests on because of you.
Yeah, it's not, and I don't clear this myth just in case people have this myth. Like, I have the same access to the same information as you. Right? If I want to talk to these people, you can do the same thing. I'm able to.
Yeah, I just never would think of it. I think.
Yeah, I'm able. I'm
Oh, I
just
will
able
say,
to.
I'm the reason that we have a new co-host now. So, like, I'm also
Yeah.
good. I was the one who pulled Nerdy on.
Yeah, like I'm just able to form an email that gets to the point. If they're interested, they're interested. If they're not, they're not. Right?
Yeah.
Because I want to have these discussions. I want to have Toren Rebel on. We had we had Sue on.
But it's not, Toren, you have to understand, it's not just that they, like, you contact them and they go on a podcast. You contact them, they go on a podcast, and one of the hosts is me. Like, you get a hold of these important people for the podcast where I sit and say, you should debate whether or not you should kill yourself, and the answer is yes. Like, it's like...
Yeah, but I mean,
which I love that contrast. I do, and I did, like, everyone who's been on has, like, appreciated me. I think, like, you know, not everyone has been on. Like, there are 2 people who haven't, but, like, the ones who have, like, I've talked to, and I'm a nice person like that. But it's also like, it feels kind of impressive to me that you managed to get them onto this podcast, because it's like, I don't know if I had a press team, if I had a fucking PR team working for me, and I was given this, and I was like, I don't know if I would have come on. Like, I would have if I'm me, but if I'm like a person who does important shit and not a person who loves chaos. But like, I love that. I love it. And like, my boyfriend has this theory about it, that they enjoy being on here because it's like, it's a very high ceiling, though not high enough so that I can't jump into it.
Yeah, 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 there's that. And it's like, listen,
but I'm not saying, and like, I'm not saying that I'm uncontrollable. I am uncontrollable. I'm not saying that I'm a bad, like, that I'm an, like, uncomfortable person to be around. I'm saying that if you don't know me, and you, like, for example, listen to an episode of shit, and the first thing you hear is some bullshit that I say at the start of an episode.
Yeah, but
like,
it's like, we haven't had one complaint from the guests we've had on.
No, they and like, I think some of them might even like me.
Yeah, I'm sure that will happen. That might happen in the future, but as of now, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, and I do have the policy of, like, if someone who does have an important job says, like, yeah, but she can't be on, then that's completely fine, as long as they're not TERFs. Because, like, if we're going to meet, like, whatever, if we're going to fight against, like, some group of TERFs out there, I'm going to be on. But like, if someone is just like, just from a sheer PR viewpoint, this is a catastrophe for me, then it's completely fine to just say, yeah, well, she sits out that episode. And now it's even easier because now we have a new co-host.
But while we've been having this conversation, I've actually been, like, Googling trans children death statistics. And guess what? You can hardly find any.
I'm not surprised. No, I'm not. I'm not surprised.
With the pushback against this whole Scottish fucking toilet thing, which is just that's a whole different conversation. I think Labour is scared.
Yeah, they actually are.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, I understand that they're all Labour are banned from Pride. I am gutted for one of our local MPs, Natty Whitcomb, if I've mispronounced her name, I'm wrong, because she's always there at Pride. She's always there at protests. And, you know, and I get why it's done, because Labour have turned their back on trans people. Not just trans people, trans children as well.
Yeah.
It's like every single government we have in power are shit scared to do anything.
Yeah.
They're
like,
shit
yeah,
scared to
listen,
fight back and say, "Oh, we're actually going to do this." But no, instead they're making buddy fucking deals with Trump and bullshit like that we don't even need to be involved in. It's like, as Toren pointed out, they are spunking so much fucking money. I mean, our local council in Nottingham has been given so much stupid fucking money to try and get the tram from Nottingham to Derby.
yeah,
It's like that money could be spent on social housing. That could be spent on, as you said earlier, more NHS training so that staff aren't overworked, underpaid.
Yeah,
But
because
like, okay, Labour is scared, and I get that. It's okay to be scared. You're not a coward because you're scared. You're a coward when you let that fear control you into hurting other people for your own comfort, not even for your safety, but for your comfort.
yeah, and it's like stand
up, have a fucking backbone.
Backbone,
Have some fucking conviction. Because what happens with this?
Yeah, Starmer is literally just a Tory
it
boy.
Means nothing. Yeah. And like it, because like when these people say something, it means nothing. Like if you don't stand by your principles, like the saying, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, and that's true because nothing you say matters anymore. Like if you're just what is it? The code, like the English expression, turncoat, like is that the expression? But if you just change opinions like other people change their fucking underwear.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if either of you. I don't know if either of you two have watched Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton.
Yeah, I have. I tried to.
Mine there. It's the quote is, "If you stand for nothing, what will you fall for?"
I'm such a basic fucking bitch that I genuinely think that fucking thing is a masterpiece.
But it's a very true line. If you don't stand for anything, what are you going to fall for?
By the way, that was the Hamilton quote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got it, but I'm very bad at commenting when I get stuff like that. But yeah, thanks. I was wondering.
And I love that saying, and it's no true word spoken. It's like, if you don't stand for trans rights, if you don't stand for lesbian, gay, queer rights, then what will you fall for? What are your beliefs? If you don't have a belief, then what's wrong with you? I mean, let's face it, all Germs are wrong. I mean, I love the fact that Kate Nash has released that song. She's a fucking queen for that. Yeah. And that's how I started referring to TERFs online, is just germs.
Yeah. But and also, yeah, that's good. But what was it? The thing is, fuck. Just before Kate Nash, you were saying you had some. What was it? I had some response to something you said, but now I've forgotten what it was.
Was it regarding if you've got nothing to stand for, what will you fall for? Like if you don't stand for a right?
Yeah, I think it was between them and Kate Nash. Some wording you had. I'm losing my fucking mind. Doesn't matter.
I never had mine to lose, so you're fine, Max.
I'm losing all mine now. Oh yeah, that was it. Stand for trans rights, stand for gay rights. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think that's what I'm doing actually. Yeah, I am for trans rights. I am for gay rights. But what I'm actually fighting for is autonomy. Bodily autonomy for all. Absolute bodily autonomy for all. I have a weird concept of freedom that is your autonomy can never be what's the fucking word? Why can't English isn't Englishing today? Must be oppressed. Must be you can never let someone take your autonomy from you.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm saying is stuff like DIY hormones and stuff like that. Like, I don't care if I, in 5 years, would like if it happens to end up in the future where I regret like being trans. I'm still not going to do it the way that fucker did. Like, and every other fucking rich trans person has a fucking integrity. Like,
Yeah, but then
that
if
would
you look at
just
the
mean that I made a wrong decision. But I made the fucking decision, and that's what's the important part is.
Well, this is
Autonomy
it.
is
I mean,
more
it's
important
like,
than anything.
with the germs saying, "Oh, there's so many detransitioners." Da 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 da. No, it's like 0.1% of detransitioners regret transitioning, and majority of that is for safety.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
0.1%, 0.1% of 0.1% of 0.1%. Like, trans people are a minuscule fucking part of the of society, by the way,
Compared
of
to
the
how many
population.
people there
And then
are
we
in
have
this
like
world.
the minuscule part of that who are these transitioners, and then we have the minuscule part of that who are dissatisfied with
Yeah, the transition. Like, there's like we have 8 billion people in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
The transition community, you know, they're like I say, nerdy, like 0.1%. If I was to be generous, I say the trans community is 1.7% of the population.
Mm.
Out of 8 billion people.
That's what Paul said intersex people were, by the way.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
makes them an insignificant number, apparently.
Yeah.
It's just 1 in 100 person, which is fuck of a lot of people, by the way. 1 in 100 person is shit ton of people.
Equal to 136 million people.
Mm.
So 136 million people are 1.7%, 1.7% of the population. That's still
Oh, look at you, big math boy.
as a
I'm sorry.
minority. Right. But the trans community is even bigger than that. Only the massive minority.
I did not get a word of that because you
Yeah.
broke up.
Every other word, it sounded like you dove underwater, but I got
Yeah.
it. I listened very carefully for once in my fucking life. I was like, is this a tactic to get me to fucking listen?
Basically, I'll say it again because because for some reason I broke up again. So we have 8 billion people in the world. If I was to be generous, I would say the detransition community is 1.7% of the population. That equals to 136 million people.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a minority.
Yeah.
The trans community, which is a lot bigger, that's still a minority. And it's like, if using their logic of them saying the trans community is a lot bigger, then I'll be like, okay, so show me the evidence for that. Well, they can't because the evidence isn't real.
This is it. This is what makes me laugh. It's like I always back up my shit. I always provide citations. And it's like
I don't. They rarely argue from a point of citations.
Yeah. And it's like, but then they'll be like, oh, where's your proof? So you provide that proof, then you ask for their proof, and lo and behold, what do they give you? Bullshit propaganda for screenshots of stuff they've been sent by germs. It's like, do your fucking research. That's why my pin post on Twitter X or whatever it's called is about how far it dates back to how long trans people have existed. And we're talking centuries. We're talking about places that aren't even discovered yet, that have tribes that are non-binary, tribes that are trans. I mean, I saw a reel on Instagram with Miriam Margoyles, and she was with these women in, I think it was Australia, who called themselves sisters who were trans. And Miriam, misgendered them at times. And once they explained to her that she got it wrong, she was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then, you could see she was making an conscious efforts, it's at the end of the day, these people want to live a normal life like myself, like any other cis person, without being harassed, without having to look over their shoulder at the fear of somebody going to come up to them and fucking kill them because they're different, because they are living their lives. Okay, different was a wrong word to use. I've just realised that. What I
it was absolutely. It is different. It's not like. But
they are living their authentic lives.
Yeah, and like they are like a part. They are apart from the norm. But I guess. I always talk about trans people as like this other unit of like party that I'm not a part of, which is weird. But that's because like my thing with group, I don't consider myself a part of any group.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, I know Frida as well. She doesn't consider herself part of a group, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but that's like that's why I keep doing the like they and instead of.
But can we also like what are the germs of obsession with trans women having to pass?
No idea.
Like.
It's like so obsessed. Oh, a trans woman must pass for a cis woman. It's like, do they though? Why?
Fucking 30% of all cis women don't pass for cis women, for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Like by their standards. Like, what is passing? Like, look, I know, like, right now I'm like, I did very poor makeup very quickly, so I'm not like super hot right now. But like, I know that I can absolutely pass, like in flesh and blood, because I have the experience of going into a shop, looking like I do, and saying, "We are Park of John Sullivan place." Don't know why I became Scottish there, but like with my voice, and they do the same reaction every fucking time. Okay,
it's like I hear
and not that they're like this is uncomfortable or anything. It's just like I genuinely didn't believe that you would have that voice. What the fuck?
I mean,
because
like whenever I hear someone, regardless of whether they're a tri-trade, hashtag
I love
whatever.
Neptune.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, you have to pass in order to blah blah blah." A song always pops into my head, and it's a song by Aerosmith, I think, if I'm correct. And it's a song called "Dude Look Like a Lady."
There's only one song I know about Aerosmith, and that's that song by Aerosmith that nobody likes, but everybody likes a bit more than they want to admit that they like it. You know exactly which one. I don't want to close my eyes.
I was like, that song always pops into my head. It's like, is that what it's like?
Have any of you played
I've seen,
Pro?
Yeah, it's like I've seen dudes that have long, luscious hair. And I made the mistake before I've made that mistake of mistaking a man for because they've got long hair. But it's like you make mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
mistakes aren't universally frowned upon. You can make mistakes. It's all part of learning, but it's about how well you're able to learn and speak with information.
It's like one of my friends, Oscar, that I've known for the last 10 years, he's trans. And I got to meet him through the festival circuit, and we were working one year, I think it was pre-lockdown. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm trans." And I'm like, "Wait, what? I thought you were a man." And they're like, "That's the whole point." And I'm just like, I was genuinely shocked because I genuinely thought he was a man. Yeah. And it was just like, it's like he recently, I think it was last year or it might have been the year before that he had his top surgery. And he did have his hysterectomy. I'm like, go for it. I am so proud of you. But this is it. I mean, it's like, this is what I don't get either, that germs are obsessed with trans women, but not trans men.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, pick a lane.
They're obsessed with them, but in a different way. Like, we've seen their obsession with them right now, like in the whole, oh, you're a little victim. Come, we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you, honey. And it's like, I think that's very effective. That's probably very effective if you're like, I'm going to say this without sounding like a fucking bitch. I think that if you are not as certain in yourself as, for example, maybe I am, and some people are, but a lot of people aren't, especially a lot of trans people aren't. I'm fucking blessed, genuinely. My little narcissism has been bad in many ways, but one way that it's good in is that none other opinion matters than mine when it comes to me. But like, I think it's very efficient to do that. I think it is, because like, and I will. One thing that I do not like about any type of community is the tone policing. That is genuinely fucking makes me see red. You've seen me be tone policed, Toren. That ended well for that person. It was on New Year's Eve. I spent hours on New Year's Eve just fucking screaming at a person. Because they said that I shouldn't make a joke that like kill two bigots with one coffin. That scratch a turf, find a homophobe is good, because like you kill two bigots with one coffin. And I was like, oh, we shouldn't joke about that. And it kind of ended up with me just going on a tirade calling what was it? Congratulations, Queen Worthless. No, Queen Nothing, Regent of the Absolute Fucking Worthless.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But like, and when you are not sure in yourself, when you don't like counter that, when you feel the pressure of this group, and then some other people come and say, you're fine. You've always been fine. In fact, you were tricked if you weren't fine. That's very efficient. Like, that's cult brainwashing. Jesus fucking Christ.
And
that's what I would do if we started a cult.
Yeah.
Like, I have it written down. I have a plan for how to start a cult in here somewhere. I'm not intending to do it, but like, a lot of people have said to be a good cult leader, and I just like wanted to go through how. By the way, I realized that I didn't quite get to my point. Like, the thing, first and foremost, when they do react, it's not like they are shocked to horror a trans person. It's more like, I genuinely thought you were cis, and you have a very different voice than I thought. Because I do voice train. Neither of you are ever going to hear it unless you meet me in person, and I'm not doing it in person yet. But I'm never going to do it on the podcast. And I've explained my reasons why. One of them is that I've gotten like multiple messages from people saying that I've helped them feel better about their own choices. That's like that's the one important thing that I'm doing. But then, like, the thing is that the difference between me passing when I'm walking to the store and me not passing when they realize that I'm trans is fucking none. They still give me my pack of cigarettes. I leave, and they say, "Have a good day," and I say, "Have the best day," because for some fucking reason, that's how I say it.
I have a friend who, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, they were. I'm not going to ask you. No, I'm not going to make the same mistake.
My hair is beautiful today, by the way.
She realized who she was. For the past year, she started her transition, and and obviously, she obviously, like me. She lives her life. She doesn't pay attention. But she does, but she just post something about it. She occasionally streams on Twitch. So she's busy living her life, and it's like, she's a year, almost a year is her transition.
Mm.
She is so much happier. Her mental health has classified, gotten better. She's still struggling now and then, but her life has gotten so much better. And it's like, she isn't looking back. And she was doing all of this whilst everything else was going to shit in the world. And she is, going to work, living her life. She recently got a boyfriend, so she's happy in love. And it's like, she is like,
Massive.
anything, I just want to ignore it.
I'm genuinely sorry. That was such a beautiful story, and I have to fucking go there. I just can't. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. That was a great story. Fuck. Hey, say this. Me. Talk about massive cocks. Too often, by the way. One day I'm just going to do an episode about my sexcapades.
Yeah, it's like, I knew her past life. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. I knew her in her past life. I saw her streaming on Twitch. I decided to watch, and we started connecting. And I obviously supported her streams and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we got to know each other a little bit, and then obviously she took some time away. I think she took like 3 or 4 months away, and then she came back as her true self.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I was happy for her because not that I can say, oh, I've only known that she was like no, because I don't know. But it's like I saw the real her. She was a lot happier, and that was that.
That's what I well about me. Apparently, I was like kind of a miserable piece of shit before. Like, not that I'm not right now.
But this is going to sound really stupid, but it's not meant to be in a stupid way. And I hope people can understand where I'm coming from when I say this. But when you see trans people's before and after pictures, you can see that they're meant to be trans, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you can see like how much happier they are. You can see actually that suits them better than their before photo.
Well, for me, you can see that because I often wear a skirt. But no, I'm so blessed though there as well. Like, welcome to Max. Welcome to another episode of Max Talks About How Great Her Life Is. But like, I had someone who like tried to like, you were just an ugly man, so now you want to pass as a woman to blah 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 blah, because like, yeah, ugly man to beautiful woman is a very fucking believable pipeline, isn't it? Jesus fucking Christ. Have you ever seen an ugly man? They look like fucking ogres. Like, an ugly woman may be ugly, but an ugly man, Jesus fucking Christ, they look like hell. Like, fucking, I can see that you haven't washed since the 90s and you were born in the 2000s. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, there was someone who did that. Because I started like just joking about them looking like a fucking date rapist, because they did. Like they had this profile picture where there were 2 people in there, and I just asked them, "So which one in this picture are you?" Because they talked about how ugly trans people were. Like, so which one in this picture are you? Are you the one that looks like you've just drugged someone's drink and waiting for them to take a sip, or are you the guy who looks like you know exactly what your buddy's about to do, but you can't really find it in you to tell him not to, and you might actually join in yourself? Which one? And then I started like, you look like a person who would be, You look like a person who's no longer invited to family gatherings for a good reason and shit like that.
It's like the creepy uncle that everybody avoids.
Yeah. You look like someone's trauma. You like just stuff like that constantly. And they were like, "You're just an ugly man." And then I started like, "Oh, thank you." Because now I can post pictures of me as a guy. Like, I was so fucking hot. Like, I was this cute. I just looked like this cute little fucking indie boy. Like, this is a picture of me lying on the ground in a park, smoking, and I have the painted nails, I have the skinny jeans on. Then again, all indie boys are trans women. But like, I look so fucking beautiful. And I'm so thankful for that because I could do that shit. But I can see that that's not the style that I ever wanted. Like I've always cared about looking good. And looking good in a way I feel good with. Like I don't give a shit. Like because secret to looking good, feel extremely fucking confident and feel extremely fucking confident in what you're wearing, and you will wear it well. My boyfriend dresses like a 16-year-old retarded skater. Fuck me, I did it.
Does he have the skate shoes?
Yeah, like he dresses like a fucking Muppet, but he looks great in it. It's a style that I fucking abhor, but I love his style because it's his style and he feels comfortable. And like I dress like I'm trying to prove that Madonna whore complex can come in the same person. But that's what I'm supposed to be wearing. Like it's that's the secret to looking good. So I found a style that worked for me with like no effort, and that I tried to find how hungover can I be and still look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the style that I've found, which was suit jacket, skinny jeans, some sort of t-shirt, often black, often a band t-shirt, painted nails, bleached hair. I'm thinking about bringing back the bleached hair, though. I was so pretty.
I mean, I like the colour that your hair is now.
Thank you. This is my natural hair color. But like I used to have like white hair, but I don't know if it would work like this. I had shorter hair then. Like we went to Billy Idol once. Like we went and saw Billy Idol, and I looked like a super fan, despite like I love Billy Idol. I love Generation X, but I'm not the guy who would like bleach my hair and like make it stand like Billy Idol. So that was just happened to be the style that I had. I also constantly wore Wayfarers. And I miss my Wayfarers, but they broke, and I can't be fucked to buy new glasses for that much money.
Yeah, they're not exactly cheap. But it's like what you were saying with the confidence thing. It's like myself, I've always had issues with, in a way, you could describe it as body dysmorphia, not dysphoria, dysmorphia. Because my mum would always force me on diets when I was younger. And you know when you see those really big women that wear the muumuus that have to be that have got the like, this is going to sound really awful, but it's not meant in that way. But
it's
when you see
cruel, by the way, that we call those clothes muumuus. Like that's that.
But you know when you see the women that like the bellies are near that, like down their legs, that is how I see myself because of my mum. Because I can remember when my sister got married, she asked me to be maid of honor. My mum was like, right, you're going on this Herbalife diet. You are losing so much weight before your sister's wedding. And, you know, there's some days where I feel great today in what I'm wearing. But then there's days where I can put the same outfit on that I wore the week before that I felt great in, and I can feel absolutely shit in it the week after.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
I had never started like until I came out as trans, because then like before I got the makeup right, fuck. There were like panic attacks and stuff. Like so that bit wasn't so fun. But like I know exactly which one you mean. Like this worked yesterday. Why doesn't it do today?
Yeah.
And like by the way, speaking of muumuus, I once watched a porn film
porn film? Doesn't remember that. Once was a porno, in which like she was wearing a muumuu, and like I remember it was on Pornhub, and like I remember the comment just saying, like she was extremely hot. She looked like a hotter Tara Reid, but she was wearing a muumuu for some fucking reason. And like I think Tara Reid is fucking hot. I think she's fucking stunning, and this person was hotter. I'm just sitting here judging women now. but
we all have that. What is it called when you
getting
touch somebody?
Actually a porn star because he's the most porn star, non-porn star ever. Like just the fact that I saw Alone in the Dark, where they made her a scientist by tying a ponytail and putting on a pair of glasses on her. It's like, nah, you're not fooling anyone. You can be as smart as fucking like that's not a scientist. That's a scientist in the Da Vinci Load. That's the dress that they look. A piece of shit film by Uwe Boll. Anyway, and then the only comment there was just a guy saying, I didn't when I woke up this morning, I didn't expect to come to a girl wearing a muumuu. And like it's in my fucking head. It lives rent-free in my head. I've even tried to find that video again just because I want to read that comment again because it's fucking beautiful. And like I scrolled down like before I had finished, so I just started fucking guffawing. And sorry for the TMI here. As I was fucking hysterically laughing, I came. And if you've never done that, cannot recommend it enough. It's the most fucking brilliant experience of my life. Jesus fucking Christ. I hysterically that there has been moments where I've woken up laughing. Like, you know how people wake up crying? I've woken up laughing multiple times. And like, that's a fucking phenomenal feeling. Because you know you just heard the funniest fucking joke in the world and you cannot remember a single word of it. And apparently it's very scary to be next to me when that happens. Because it is hysterical.
I don't think I can what's happened to Nerdy.
I'd say the same thing that has happened to you a few times. I think she just kicked off. Something.
Okay, well that shouldn't have happened. Hopefully she'll be able to jump back in.
Probably like her connection or something.
But yeah, it's like the. I mean, I can't compete with that, although I'm at, or you know. But I remember I was a student, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but I remember being asleep, and then I astral projected off of my bed, like literally, like I don't know, like people might.
Yeah, that hasn't happened not when I'm asleep, but while I'm like high, it has. Like I know the feeling.
I was asleep, and I was still asleep. I woke up briefly, but then I went back to sleep. But then, I was asleep. I astral projected. I lifted about this much off my bed, went back down. I briefly woke up, and then I went back to sleep again. And it's like, you know, but I've never woken up laughing.
I also kiss with my eyes open, just so everyone knows how much of a fucking psychopath I am.
I like to see what I'm looking at. I don't like my eyes being closed.
No, me too. And like, I don't know, like, why should I care? It's my thing. Like, it just happens that I don't close them automatically when I kiss someone. Why should I just focus on that? But there was once when someone actually noticed that, like, because she opened her eyes a bit, I guess she did, and she fucking startled, like, "Are you just staring at me while we kiss?" I was like, "No, I'm just like, I don't close my eyes when we kiss, and that's the first time I found out that it's apparently like not common that either. I have like. Did Toren break as well now? Am I the only one left on this podcast?
Oh, there I am.
If I'm the only one left, I'm going to play guitar. Okay, there you are. I thought both of you kicked off. So I was just like, no, we're going to just play kite.
I don't know what happened. My page just came up with, ooh, snap. And I'm like, for fuck's sake.
I was just telling Matt that I astral projected one.
I heard that, yeah.
Which was a nice experience.
I
I
don't think I've ever experienced anything like that because I don't think I have.
Yeah, but it was, yeah, nothing. So, but it was a weird one. I was like, what the fuck? When I woke up,
how did you got the floor?
I said, the day after I did that astral projection, I was thinking to myself, how the fuck did that happen?
That's not what I heard.
No idea. But
I heard something about why you thought your floor was wet or something.
No. I'm not like that. No, I'm not at that stage yet. But I'm needing a fucking mop and a bucket.
That brings a whole new meaning to blue balls. If you're needing a mop and a bucket.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Depends how far you've gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. No, I've still got all my. I'm still able to, I'm still got all my functions in that department.
You can still spaff the swimmers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can still spaff the crotch goblins.
Yep. I can. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I call my kids crotch goblins, crotch freaks, and womb invaders.
Yeah. Well, I've got my certificate. Yeah, I'm all
Your
good.
certificate of what? Being able to launch these swimmers across the room.
Yeah. It was that was a Lee Evans joke.
That was only ever what?
A Lee Evans joke.
Oh God. I love Lee Evans.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any much anymore, does he?
No, he's retired.
Oh, I never knew that. And he always used to be so sweaty on stage as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Underneath all of those lights.
Yeah. To be fair, they do get on the stage lights. It's like ridiculously hot.
Yeah. I sometimes still put on his face, like if I can find one, I'll put them on. Especially the one where I think the one he did in Birmingham.
Sorry, say that again.
What was his final one? What was his final show called?
I can't
remember now. But yeah, he's hilarious. But yeah.
Oh shit! Quickly, I want to make sure to make one thing clear. When I said earlier that it was like an efficient type of grooming, I still think the people who fall for it can go fuck themselves. Detransitioners who turfs are fucking scum. I don't care. You're a fucking adult.
Mm-hmm.
Grow a backbone. Stop falling for the bullshit. And like, instead of
like so angry at tone policing that you fucking stab every trans person in the back. Maybe, I don't know, tell them to fuck off just. Ignore the tone policing that you don't agree with. Fucking change based on the criticism that you do. You're useless. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to.
Also,
I realized
people
like I gave them leeway.
also what people seem to forget. We have something called the Guinnic competency framework.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sweden, USA, and other countries have their own version of it. But the Guinnic competency framework is basically states how a child under 16 can give consent to their own
bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, of course, it's a case-by-case basis. Right? Yes, sometimes parents need to make decisions for their kid.
And sometimes those decisions turn out to be the wrong decision, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Just like own it.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, be responsible. Take ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I hear this argument one more time of children can't consent, I'm like, okay then, so what about the 15, 16-year-olds who can get cosmetic surgery?
Yeah.
What about them?
Children can't consent. Yeah, well, to certain medical practices, they absolutely can. Children can also remove consent. Like there are things that, like, I mean, if children can't consent to things, then children can also, via them, not.
It's like there's a thing about, you shouldn't be allowed to change a baby's nappy because they can't consent. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what is wrong with you? Are you right in the head?
Yeah, no, they're not. They're definitely not. Like people, and like I that's just a parent who desperately wants to be lazy, isn't it? Though, like, I can answer. And like, I do believe in giving like children as much freedom, as much power to decide as they can have. But the fact of the matter is that children are kind of like, incomplete little clumps of clay. And mainly they're fucking dangerous to themselves and everyone around them. Like they do need to. And like, if I can understand that as a person who has a total belief in freedom to the point where it actually does hurt me on a purely like emotional level a bit to retract even the consent of a fucking toddler. Because I know that things are fucking nuanced.
Yeah.
Well, the of a toddler, not the consent of a toddler. Sorry, we said that fucking word too many times. Like, yes, I believe that in absolute bodily autonomy. I also don't believe that children should run out in the street.
Yeah. Well,
like
it's
nuanced, and these people don't understand that.
I mean, Phoenix was this kid when they were younger. They used to love having kisses and cuddles, but now it's like we ask permission because they got to a point where they told us, "I'd rather you ask me for a kiss or cuddle," which we do.
Yeah.
But that's also because of their tism.
Yeah.
And it's like that's completely fine. And if they say no, that's fine. That kid has got a right to their autonomy. They should be forced to do things because you want that.
No. My mom gets to pick one hug every time every time I come home. Like we're either hugging when I come here or we're hugging when I leave. We're not doing both. You get sorry?
I said she gets one or the other, not both.
Yeah, exactly. And that's because it's not that I hate hugging her. I just don't like hugging people. I had to learn to like it because, like, in Stockholm, for some reason, every every time you meet a friend, you hug each other, and like so. And now I
UK as
like
well.
I like that. I like that. But like other than that, I think it's fucking bizarre to hug people. Like I don't want physical contact with you unless I'm going to fuck you, and then I would prefer that to be the only contact. I counted and I realized that I've fucked more people than I've kissed.
Yeah, and with me, who's like, you know, who's like, oh, do you want to talk? Do you want physical contact? And I'm like, fuck off.
My boyfriend
like, if I know you and I've known you for a long time and I trust you, then maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not a touchy person. Like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from me.
No, I'm not. I've
always been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Nah, sorry.
Yeah, it's weird. I have like a few friends who I fuck every now and then, and like one of them, he pointed out like it's very weird with you because you're like you sit at the other end of the couch and then you just get up and scream, "I need cock, come!" It's like, that's the tell, and it's you're bizarre in that way. I seem like poison before then, and I was like, yeah, because you are.
Yeah,
it's one
I have to.
Friends that...
Yeah, I have to say that I've never had that. I've never had that reaction from any of my ex-girlfriends. Like, I've never had that reaction. Like, come here, give me a dick. Like, I've never had that.
I've never seen that. Well, I have absolutely said that to partners as well. But this is to a friend. Like, thinking like we're not going to be cuddling and then suddenly looking into each other's eyes and then get horny by that or some fucking bullshit like that. Like, I'm just sitting there and like I don't know, we're watching something and then I decided that I need to get stuffed. I think it's just pragmatic. He's the closest cock.
Yeah.
And it's not like he has. I'm not saying like I will murder you if you don't. I'm not holding him in hostage.
It would be funny. It would be funny if you were. You just had him in the cupboard.
Yeah, it would be funny. It would also be like a sex crime.
Yeah, had him in the cupboard like Gollum. Yeah.
I do have like the body posture of Gollum. Luckily enough, it's not always noticeable in on the podcast. But whenever I'm full body, like a full body picture, you can notice that I'm always like sitting like a fucking moron. Or sitting like a bisexual. I hated when that meme became like a big thing, and I'm just like, fuck, and I hate that it's right. Because my boyfriend pointed that out to me. It's like because I was like, I hate this meme. I hate this fucking joke. It's so boring. And he's like, isn't it also a bit because you actually sit like a fucking idiot? Like, isn't it because you've just never used a share properly?
Yeah. I remember when my ex came over to stay, because I used to go up to her every other weekend. She came over, and this was like the first time, because up until probably going on 9 years ago now, or somewhere around there, I've always had a single bed. This was within the first year of me having a double bed. Since I've never had a bed with anyone, I took up the whole bed. I started and all of that. And so I came over, she thinks, And then she got up to go for, her midnight toilet break or whatever. She came back and she told me basically starfish the bed. And it's like, my mum had to explain that, he's not used to sharing the bed with anyone. I think that's I think for me that's a massive sign of me. I like to have my own space. So in reality, I should have said I probably shouldn't say like, can you fuck off, because I probably wouldn't end well. But like, can you like sleep downstairs or something or whatever? Because I need my space. But so ever since then, I'm like, nope. I'm not sharing a bed with anyone.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like if we're in the middle of having, a full
I don't mind sharing a bed with people. I don't like use a bed myself. So I'm sleeping on the floor. Like that's what I do when I'm by myself. And that's because like I can't deal with it. Like literally where I'm sitting right now is where I will later just like throw out a way and fall asleep. My boyfriend's kid did not believe me when I told her this, and I'm like, no, you don't. You're just lying now. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. And then I showed her a video of me just sitting here like playing a song on guitar. I'm like, this is what I'm doing, because she wondered what I was doing, and I was editing that. And I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And I was like, why is there a pillow behind you? I'm like, oh yeah, remember what I told you? Proof. And she looked at me like something had died inside her. Like figuring out that's actually honest. Because she has this game, which is does Max lie or not? Where I will just, because sometimes I get bored and I say bullshit. Like, for example, I tricked my students for a couple of weeks that vitamins was a contraction of vital minerals. And then like 3 weeks later, I said, like, do you remember that shit that I told you like 3 weeks ago about vitamins? Yeah, that's completely lie. That's a complete lie. And they're like, but we've told it to other people. And I'm like, yeah, but maybe you should have fact checked it first. And like I do that, and sometimes it's just because like the narrative gets funnier and stuff like that. If it doesn't matter. Like, and this was actually to teach them how to fucking fact check things, because they fucking suck at it. But with her, it's just, I will say things like, true fact, France doesn't exist. I don't believe in France, or stuff like that. It's weird that you speak French when it's not a real language. But this was actually a joke at school as well. The French teacher didn't appreciate it that much. But I will say that kind of stuff. But then I will say shit like Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland to prove why irrational maths doesn't work. And it's true, because that's what Alice in Wonderland is actually about, by the way. He was a mathematician and he fucking hated irrational maths. So he wrote Alice in Wonderland to show how the world can work on irrationality, basically. And also to tell it to and like, then I say shit like that, and she says, that's a lie. And I say, no, it's not. And eventually I've had to promise, like, if you call me out on anything that I say, I will be honest about whether it's a lie or not. Because like a lot of shit that it sounds like I make it up on the spot, it's just actually bizarre facts that I for some reason know. Yeah. Like, for example, that I told her that like the two animals that you need to punch in the face are sharks and kangaroos. If you want to survive, you're supposed to sock him. I think the sharks might be hard because they're in water and just like fuck off there. But the kangaroos, like, if you're ever in a This is genuinely absolutely true. If you're ever in a situation where a kangaroo is staring you down, that means they're going to want to fucking fight you, because kangaroos are like a gym bro hopped up on amphetamines who desperately wants to punch some faggot on the club tonight. Like, that's all kangaroos. They are the most spiteful fucking animal alive that aren't dolphins.
Yeah.
But if that happens, you can't run. Like, they will run to you, they will kick you, you will die. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to run up to them and punch them straight in the fucking face. Because kangaroos look very like muscular, but very weak arms and very strong legs. So when you do that, they will think, if that's how strong arms are, they must be so fucking strong in the legs, and then it'll fuck off. And this sounds like it makes absolutely true. Because like kangaroos spend a lot of their welcome to fucking planet Earth with Max. What the fuck? Because like kangaroos spend like their entire youth is based on like beating the shit out of every other kangaroo until they're the biggest, the strongest, and like they kick each other, they break each other's bones, they have a fucking fight club, and like this is how they survive. And they survive by knowing when they're in a fight that they're going to lose. And the only way that you can show a kangaroo that they're going to lose is that you, without any fucking hesitation, run up to it and you sock it in the face.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which, by the way, also works with gym bros hopped up on amphetamines that needs to be.
I'll say not kicking them in the balls then.
Do you think
Oh,
that...
no, the balls would be too shrunken from the fat.
There we go.
Yeah.
Do you think that amount of fucking anabolic steroids would leave them anything?
I'm going to have to shoot because I've got work in the morning. And
I'm going to have to do so because I'm going to have a fucking emergency dentist appointment.
Ew.
Yeah. Just an announcement. We in the middle of finalising a date for an upcoming interview with Trans Kids Deserve Better.
They sound like a good organization, but really, really boring name.
Yeah, and I'm in talk with, and I'm going to resend you the email with the questions because you might not have had time to get back to me. I'm in talk.
Sorry, with the LGB. Oh, yeah. I don't think. I think if I write my questions in, they're not going to.
Well, what I'll do is I'll submit mine, and then you can, and then. So yeah, but
I'll read through it and like see if there's anything.
Yeah, but apart from that, I want to say to everyone that sorry about the stop. My Wi-Fi type is up. But surprisingly, because I've joined via on my mobile, I've had no issues.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so but yeah, that's it. We will see you in the next one. So yeah, I'm going to end it here.